welcome back to the Commission Desk. If you're new here, this is where we break down Bitcoin, crypto, and markets. No jargon, just what actually matters. Hit subscribe if you want more of this, and drop your questions in the comments. All right, the US government owes $39 trillion and there's no real plan to pay it back. Instead, they plan to steal it from you quietly through inflation. The debt just hit $39.28 trillion. That's about $115,000 per person, and it's growing by $9 trillion a day. This year alone, interest payments will top $1 trillion, more than we spend on the entire military. Last month, Kevin Warsh became the new Fed chairman, and I believe he and Trump already have a plan together. It's a wealth pump built to siphon debt repayment out of your pocket without you ever tracking the missing dollars. Let's break it down in three parts. Part one, there are only two ways out of $39 trillion in debt. You either grow your way out or you inflate your way out. Growth was supposed to come from AI, making companies more productive so prices fall naturally, letting the Fed cut rates without triggering inflation. That was the plan until the war in Iran blew it up. Closing the Strait of Hormuz pushed oil prices higher, which acts just like inflation, and it scared off the $2 trillion in Gulf AI investment promises the US was counting on. So growth is now a long shot. That leaves inflation, but you can't just cut rates immediately. It'll look like Warsh is Trump's puppet. So he has to wait and pray Trump gets a deal done in Iran to bring oil prices down first, giving him political cover to cut. Part two, control what you show them to control what they see. Warsh wants to change how inflation is measured, switching to a trim mean method that conveniently reads lower, 2.3%, versus the traditional 3%, while headline inflation is actually running at 4.2%. Even the Dallas Fed, the group that publishes that trim mean number, has warned it may be understating real inflation. And the timing lines up suspiciously well with the midterms. Control the data, and you control the narrative around when it's safe to cut rates. Part 3, the invisible money printer. Someone has to buy the nearly $10 trillion in government debt coming due this year, and foreign buyers are backing away. So the government is quietly forcing two players to pick up the slack. First, banks' new rules loosened capital requirements by 28%, freeing up an estimated $3 trillion for banks to buy treasuries. Second, stablecoins. Thanks to the new Genius Act, every dollar that flows into a compliant stablecoin like Tether must be backed by US Treasuries, and that market could balloon to $1 to $3 trillion in a few years. When the Fed buys debt directly, everyone calls it money printing. When banks and stablecoins do it instead, it's the same effect, new money entering the system, but buried a layer deeper and effectively invisible to most people. The bottom line, there was probably never a real plan to pay off this debt. The plan is to slowly inflate it away, letting the dollar lose value faster than the government's interest payments grow, while forcing banks and crypto to quietly absorb the debt. Asset holders, stocks, real estate, gold, Bitcoin are going to keep getting richer. People holding only cash are going to get quietly poorer and never fully understand why. My own plan going forward, don't sit in cash beyond an emergency fund, favor real assets built on real innovation, and stay broad instead of clever. When the dollar slides while stocks, gold, and crypto climb together, that's not a boom. That's the wealth pump at work. The debt is not going away. It's just going to be paid by whoever's still holding dollars when the music stops. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, subscribe and let me know in the comments what you want covered next.